Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. All outstanding works on the Chadijagan International Airport that was inherited by the government will be completed on the scheduled deadline, December 31, 2021. Minister of Public Works Bishop One Edgel noted this as he inspected ongoing works on Friday last.
On schedule for completion at the 31st of December are all those items that we had concern about. The 71 critical items and the more than 1,000 items on the master tracking list. Now I know it's obvious that you are still seeing work being done. All the work that was in the contract that we inherited when we came into government as of December 31st this year will be fully completed. What you're seeing here now are the works that we negotiated with China Harbor for China Harbor to do at their own expense because of the amended contract that we expressed dissatisfaction with. And in that contract, China Harbor was supposed to do three things.
Minister Edgel said installment of a curtain wall across the front of the airport is also currently in progress in spite of delays due to worldwide shipping issues. The first ever sports academy in Guyana has been launched at the National Racquet Center and the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., said apart from football and squash, which were launched Saturday last, 10 other sporting activities will be launched in a phased manner in the coming days and weeks.
The program has a nursery. This is our nursery program. And what we've been doing is focusing on building a strong relationship with all the sports associations to see how we would be able to use programs to develop world-class athletes. So the Sports Academy is a program that functions very much like an education system that it builds progressively until you become a world-class athlete. Now, that requires stuff from the government, that requires stuff from the association, but it also requires stuff from the athletes themselves, because the ones who want it the most, and knowing that the vehicle is here, those are the ones that are going to be able to see themselves get to the highest level in their respective sport.
Meanwhile, Isenaru is the latest village to benefit from a tractor under a government initiative to equip Amerindian villages with the machinery to expand their agricultural produce. Government Member of Parliament representing Region 7, Kayuni Mazaruni, Lee Williams, and the Parliamentary Secretary, Sarah Brown, traveled to the Middle Mazaruni on Saturday to make the presentation to the village. Tushawa Vicenaru Danis Larson said the tractor that is equipped with a trailer will provide great relief to farmers in the village. On Monday, the President commissioned the new Great Diamond Maka Link Road. Here is Anara Khan.
From today, the people of Guyana will enjoy another promise fulfilled by the PPPC government. This project was conceptualized by the head of state in 2013 while he was the Minister of Housing and Water.
I just want to put things into context. When we left office, this foundation for this road was completed. And for 5 years, nothing happened. So we came back and we completed this project.
In addition to easing the traffic congestion on the East Bank, new lands for housing and commercial development will be opened along the road's corridor.
This area will be a reservoir for job creation also. We will have more than 300-400 acres of land developed specifically for industrial development, and then we have commercial development. And from the type of proposals that we have already received, you will have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of jobs created along the corridor of this road. So this road is while it is permanent in nature, it is a stopgap for what what is coming.
The head of state noted that the health and wellness of citizens is priority, further disclosing that talks with contractors about having a safe jogging path created along the road have commenced. President Ali said the road is part of a larger project which will create links to several parts of the coast and will offer significant relief to thousands of commuters. He noted that the anticipated traffic congestion and the growth in the traffic will be facilitated with good infrastructure and good urban planning.
Now, whilst that is going on, we are looking at expanding the Eccles Road to the East Coast corridor. So there is the new expansion from Ogle that will also start next year. That initially will come to Eccles and then connect further on to Diamond and to Timeri. So the interconnection here is that from Diamond you'll be able to go straight to Ogle on the East Coast, go straight to Mandela to get back into Georgetown or head up the airport.
Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, said the new road will directly impact 18,000 residents.
At the level of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, we are also aware of the challenges of the lack of access roads and that it has had on housing developments. But certainly, as the example is here, you can see us pursuing in an aggressive manner. Happily, those worries are now considerably lessened this morning.
Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Suzanne Rodrigues, said the government is committed to improving the lives of Guyanese.
Some things must never be politicized. Bringing relief to the citizens of our country is one of them. Every hour spent on the East Bank, sitting in traffic, is a productive hour lost for our citizens. And that is something that we do not want to encourage. That is something that must not obtain. And therefore, this is one of the first projects that we embarked on as soon as we took office.
Also on Monday, Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, headed to Region 2 to distribute pension books and the payments that were in arrears to persons who waited numerous years in the system to receive their benefits.
His Excellency's commitment is also to ensure that all of the institutions of state improve the efficiency and effectiveness with which they operate. The NIS is one such institution. And our commitment when we came into government, as it specifically relates to the NIS, was to ensure that we clear out the backlog, the inherited stock of matters.
Fisher folks of Albion, Region 6, recently benefited from food relief hampers that were distributed on Monday. Dr. Singh spearheaded this exercise, which is meant to mitigate the alleged low fish stock at sea.
My visit here today is in direct fulfillment of a commitment given by the President on Friday when, like Chairman said, he visited Chesney, he listened to some of the concerns and issues raised by the community, and in particular, an issue was raised in relation to the challenges being faced by the fishing sector, in response to which His Excellency asked me immediately to come to deliver on his behalf some relief to those who are most directly affected.
Dr. Singh noted that while the administration works to create avenues for additional economic activities in every sector, much emphasis will be placed on expanding aquaculture. Minister of Education Priya Manikchand on Monday hosted a media brunch where she highlighted some of the initiatives planned by her ministry for the new year. The minister says students of grades 8 to 13 will be expected to return to school in the new year and will be given 5 months to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
Going into 2022, we intend to vigorously get back to a level of normalcy that we have still not been able to do. So, except we are otherwise advised by the Ministry of Health, All students from grades 8 to 12 to 13 will be expected to go back to school full-time. The students from grades 8 to 13 have all been offered and have been given 5 months to get vaccinated.
Manikchand also noted that schools cannot remain closed because some parents are not allowing their children to become vaccinated, as it will be unfair to those who are inoculated. The Ministry of Health is proposing to offer a second shot of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine as booster shots continue to make headway in becoming necessary. This was revealed by Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony during Monday's COVID-19 update. This particular vaccine was initially offered as a single shot, but to boost its efficacy, scientists around the world have been vouching for a second shot to be administered.
We in Guyana, we would certainly review the technical information that is emerging from the CDC and see whether or not we would need to change our recommendations. But so far, the WHO continues to recommend the J&J vaccine and would have updated it to say that instead of it being a single dose, that countries who have offered J&J should consider offering a second dose 2 months after your first dose.
Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell, on his most recent visit to Smith Creek, Region 1, highlighted a series of interventions being rolled out to improve the livelihoods of residents in Smith Creek and other hinterland communities.
Smith Creek has been identified for the construction of 10 houses here to be placed in this community. And there are much more development that will happen. When we have grants being provided, whether it's through the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, it is part of the PBPC's government's vision of ensuring that communities benefit from economic projects.
Among these interventions are the relocation of residents from Smith Creek who are exposed to high tide and severe flooding to higher land. To add to the list of development in Smith Creek, its ICT hub is nearing completion. Once completed, apart from the free internet connectivity, computer literacy training will also be offered. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met with farmers of Bellevue, Region 3, on Tuesday, following requests made to address matters pertaining to farmlands within the co-op society. While some of the concerns raised were dealt with on spot, Minister Mustafa plans to forward the concerns to his cabinet colleagues.
I see this, I get these documents, I will pass it on to the AG, because he got some legal issue here. Let him advise me what the process forward. In the meantime, I'll ask my other colleague, Joe Hamilton, who is responsible, Minister Hamilton, who is responsible for cooperative, to come here and work with the co-op.
The minister also engaged another group of farmers at the Kowal Primary School at Canal Number 2. After listening to the issues raised, he highlighted government's plans to ensure the local food industry remains flourishing. The minister urged the farmers to work in unity, which he explained is the only way development can occur. Following the final engagement at Hague Bagdam, Minister Mustafa instructed technical officers from the ministry to return to the village to commence works on drainage and irrigation systems. By midweek, some $13.3 billion in contracts were signed for the construction of the 4-lane highway from Eccles to Grey Diamond. The contracts were signed between the Ministry of Housing and Water and the 12 contractors at the Arthur Chang Conference Center. The 4-lane road forms part of the alternate East Bank Road link. It is expected to significantly reduce the traffic congestion on the East Bank corridor. Once completed, more than 22,000 households will directly benefit, as well as the growing volume of commercial users. During his charge, Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell implored on the contractors to be innovative and strategic in their approach to the project. He also stressed on the need for quality work and a timely completion.
The government, this PBPC government, is totally committed to bring in relief to the residents within those catchment areas that I identified earlier, but in the shortest possible time. Therefore, I want to repeat, we expect all of you to work within and before your timeline to complete your respective lots. Be assured, we are here to support you.
The project was conceptualized and initiated by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali when he served as Housing Minister prior to 2015. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, says the project adds to the many transformational projects being undertaken by the PPPC administration.
What we are doing here today is not just signing a $13 billion contract for the construction of a road. What we will embark on is the transformation of people's lives.
The project is divided into 12 lots. The scope of works includes 8.6 kilometers reinforced concrete 4-lane highway equipped with walkways and a cycle lane, as well as 2 roundabouts. With Guyana being named as one of the host countries for the 14th edition of the ICC Under-19 World Cup next year, the grounds selected for the tournament were based on factors associated with time and the proximity from the hotels the cricketers would be staying. This was noted by Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr.
They had a radius that they were working with where they were living, meaning residing, not living, but residing for the tournament. So because they're staying in hotels, and they had to be at hotels at a good standard with the number of rooms capacity, because you heard the number of teams that are going to be coming for the tournament. So because you've got 2 main hotels that are really at a high standard, Ramada and the Marriott, they've got to be within a 30-minute radius of being able to transport the teams.
The National Stadium in Providence will host the matches for the ICC Under-19 World Cup, while Everest Cricket Club will be used as a warm-up venue, and the tournament will run from January 14 to February 5, with Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as Trinidad and Tobago, confirmed as other venues. Incoming passengers at the Chedijagan International Airport have been treated with the traditional Guyanese Christmas experience. Welcoming the passengers on Thursday was Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgel.
It's a tradition at the CGIA at Christmas time and at other occasions as well, that we provide an atmosphere of festivity and celebration. So as you can see, we have steel pan music at the back, and all the gift items that were given out are just Guyanese products promoting Guyana and what Guyana has to offer. And it's our way of showing appreciation and saying welcome to the people as they came. They like the fact that we are modernizing the airport. One man told me, he says, look, my girl is American and we've gone to Barbados, and she's complained that every time they went to Barbados, they had to come off the plane and walk on the tarmac to go in. When they got here this afternoon and they saw what is happening, he was so ecstatic. So I'm happy about the positive feedback. Of course, there's more to be done.
With the reopening of schools imminent, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, during today's COVID-19 update, revealed that the ministry plans to amp up its information campaign so that more adolescents can be fully vaccinated.
Earlier this month, Minister of Education Priya Manikchand announced that come January 22, all students from grade 8 to 12 are expected to return to classrooms. It is against this backdrop that Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony expressed the importance for parents to consent to their children to receive the COVID-19 vaccine Pfizer.
We can have all the infrastructure there, but if the parents showed no interest and not encouraging their children to be vaccinated, then it's going to be difficult to vaccinate those children.
Back on the agriculture front, farmers of Victoria Village on the east coast of Demerara will soon receive interventions from government to boost the agricultural activities in the village. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa visited and listened to the concerns and challenges faced by the farmers. The farmers informed the minister that due to the lack of proper drainage in the community, their farms are constantly destroyed by flooding. Minister Mustafa has committed to making an excavator available in the next 3 to 5 days to commence emergency drainage works.
The emergency work that we'll start, we'll do the company trench, we'll do the 2 sideline, and we'll do the 1 middle walk. Those 4 trenches we'll do this year for you all.
Oh, so cute.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.